Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Kelsey, and today I'm going to guide you through a yoga practice that you might like to do during the luteal phase of your cycle. So this practice is intended for women, femmes, and menstruating people, but if you do not happen to identify with any of those labels, but you still felt drawn to this practice, then this practice is for you. So with the luteal phase, in traditional Chinese medicine, this is thought of as our inner autumn. And with the decrease of luteinizing hormones, progesterone, estrogen, this time of the cycle is generally more uncomfortable. So you might start to experience feeling more tired, having less energy. You might also become a little bit more reactive or irritable to emotional things, emotional stimulus. Also things like bloating, cramps, acne, just in general not feeling totally great is very common at this time. So for the purpose of this practice, we're going to be doing a more stretchy, slow, breath-focused practice, but everybody experiences this time differently, so just take care and do what feels best for your body. With all of that said, let's go ahead and begin on our spine in reclined Baddha Konasana, Supta Baddha Konasana, and we'll start with a little bit of pranayama and then start moving the body a little bit. So let's go ahead and get down onto our backs. I do have a couple of blocks near my mat, but if you do not have those, you do not necessarily need them. I just like to have them handy just in case. And so letting your back body settle down onto your mat. If you wanted to add in your props whenever we bring soles of the feet together, knees apart, these can feel nice underneath your thighs. Or you can just let gravity start to open up into the hips a little bit. I know that this area can feel a little bit tense during this time of the month. And then take one hand over your low abdomen as long as that's comfortable for you, and one hand over your heart space. Again, if having your hands on your body is not comfortable, that is okay. You can just let your arms rest in any way that feels good. And then let's just take a deep cleansing breath in through the nose, letting it go with the sigh. And then on your next inhale, start to feel the breath moving more towards your low abdomen. And so if you have that hand over your low belly, you should feel the breath or the belly moving into your hand. And then exhale and just let the belly relax down again. So this can be a little bit tricky at first if you've never done any type of belly breathing. So just give it a few more times. Use an inhale. Feel the belly expand into that hand over the low abdomen. And then let the belly relax down. One more like that. Inhale into the belly. Your ribs and your chest right now are staying still. Exhale, let the belly draw down, not pushing the air out, not forcing anything. All right, next inhale, feel the belly expand into that hand if you're using your hands. And then let the breath move up towards your rib cage. So if you want to move your hand down a little bit, you could feel the rib cage expanding. And then exhale, let the rib cage draw in and let the belly draw in. And so inhaling into the belly this time, and then into your ribs. Exhaling from the ribs, and then the belly. And so we're segmenting our breath a little bit. One more like this. Inhale to the belly, to the ribs, and exhale, ribs deflate, belly deflates. Adding on our last little bit here, inhale for the belly, the ribs, and then the chest. You can move your hand up to feel the sternum rising. Exhale, chest relaxes, ribs relax, belly relaxes. And so now we're breathing into all three sections of our torso. This is your 3-part breath. Inhale, belly, ribs, chest. Exhale, chest, ribs, and belly. A few more rounds on your own. Try to let go of the thinking mind here. Just feel your breath moving into these 3 sections. And then moving out through those 3 sections. Last round. Next inhale, just letting it be natural and buoyant, letting go of some of the control. And same with your exhale, just letting it be natural, no control here. And noticing how that little bit of pranayama has affected you. No right or wrong answers, we just want to notice honestly. And then bring your hands underneath your thighs to help close your legs like you're closing a book. Soles of your feet return down to your mat. And we'll move into a little bit of stretches for our hips. So we're going to pull the left knee in and then cross the left ankle over the right thigh. Let the left knee drift away from you. So you're in this figure 4 shape with your legs. You can stay right here or move into your reclined pigeon, pulling your legs closer, maybe holding on to your right leg somewhere. And you want these postures that we do today to feel relatively easeful. And so you don't have to be going as deep as you possibly can, as deep as you did yesterday or the day before. Your poses don't need to look like my poses. This is really just a good opportunity to listen to your body, to be in relationship with yourself. And make sure you're breathing throughout this whole practice. Deep belly breaths in. And long cleansing breaths out. One more inhale. And then exhale, set the right foot down. From here, pull your left knee in towards your body again, but then move your left knee over towards your left shoulder. So the knee's going a little bit wider than the width of the hips. And you can stay here with your hand in front of your shin, or you can kick your left foot towards the sky. Maybe grab a hold of your left foot, left ankle, or somewhere around that big toe. And draw your left thigh down for your half happy baby. I like to let the right knee flop out. Another option is to extend the right leg, but that does intensify things quite a bit, so just take care. Make sure you're still breathing. In this next posture, you might want to leave it out, especially if you're experiencing some intense cramps. So if you don't want to do this, you can just pause in a constructive rest position or just rest in any way that feels good. But then we're going to take this left leg over into a twist. And so let go of whatever you're holding on to. Extend the right leg if it's not there already. Take your right hand to the left knee, left arm out beside you, and then guide your left leg over towards the right for your twist. And take a good few breaths here. Next, inhale, roll towards your back. Set that left foot down and slide the right foot in, resetting before we go to the next side. Just notice the way that your left side feels compared to your right. And then as you're ready, pull that right knee in, cross your right ankle over your left thigh, right knee is drifting away from you. Remember, you can stay here, or you can start to pull your legs closer, maybe holding on to that left leg wherever's accessible. Relax your shoulders down towards the mat, let your head be heavy. And then start to take some deeper breaths. Take another breath in here. Exhale, let go of whatever you're holding on to. Left foot goes down to the mat. And then moving towards that half happy baby, move the right knee out towards the side a little bit. You can stay here holding on to your right shin, or you might move it down towards your ankle, your foot, or hold on to that big toe, kicking the right foot towards the sky. Draw your right thigh down towards your ribs. And then you might let the left knee flop out, or you could extend the left leg, whatever feels better. And just a few breaths here. And then again, you can leave out the twist if you want to, if it doesn't feel good in your body at this time. And then we're going to move that right knee in towards us again. Keep that left leg extended, or extended if it's not there already. Right arm out beside you and guide your right leg over towards the left for this twist. A few good breaths right here. And twists are really good for the low back, so I usually do like to do them around this time, but I know that not everybody feels the same, so just do what feels good in your body. One more breath in. Exhale. Move towards your back again. Set the feet down. A little pause and center just to acknowledge how those movements have impacted you. And then let's widen the feet a little bit wider than your hips, about mat width distance. Let your arms go out into a T shape or a cactus shape. And then on your next inhale, let both of your knees drop over towards the right and send your gaze towards the left. On your exhale, knees come up through center and then turn your head towards the right. Inhale, come up through center. Exhale, knees towards the right, head towards the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, knees to the left, head to the right. One more, going to each side. This is so good for our nervous system. It can help calm any anxiety or stress. And your hips might pop. Mine did. I'm not sure if you were able to hear that. Okay. Bring your knees up through center, head through center, and then let's just move over onto one side. And from there, you can make yourself come around into a tabletop position. No hurry here. Move with kindness and care for your body. Move with mindfulness. Spreading the fingers nice and wide, knees under your hips, hands under your shoulders. A few rounds of cat and cow just to warm up the spine. Inhale, lift your sits bones, drop your belly, pull your heart through and lift your head. Exhale, chin towards your throat, press the floor away from you, tuck your tailbone down, draw your navel up just a little bit. Inhale into your cow pose, tailbone lifts, head lifts. Exhale, round your spine, tailbone down, head down. Inhale, we're going to start to move in a more circular motion from here. Exhale, move your ribs over towards the right and up towards the ceiling, coming through something like a cat pose. And then inhale, ribs to the left, and then belly drops down through center. Continue. Exhale, rib cage to your right. Round your spine, come through that cat-like posture. Inhale left, and then drop your belly down. 2 more in this direction like that. The next time that you find yourself in that cat-like spine, you're going to reverse. So move the ribs to the right, drop the belly down, and then exhale to the left and draw the rib cage up. 3 more in this direction. Keep breathing. Next time you're in that cat-like spine, just inhale, come back through your neutral tabletop position, and then again, moving in a circular way. We can add in the wrists here if you want to. You can keep your fingers pointing forward if this feels like too much for the wrists, or you can take your hands to point back towards your body. You can also do one hand at a time, so maybe going in one direction on one wrist and then the other direction on the other. Move the hips slightly forward and then take the hips to the right and back towards your heels a little bit. And then over to the left and slightly forward. So instead of moving the rib cage in circles, we're moving the hips in circles. Take a couple more in this direction. This can be really intense for the wrist, so if you need to leave it out, please do. And then go ahead and reverse. I'm going to bring my hands back to normal for this next round, taking the hips the opposite way. Alrighty, one more circle here. And then the next time your hips are kind of going back towards your heels, widen your knees apart, big toes touch, send the hips back towards the heels, reach the arms forward, and melt your head and your heart down for a few breaths in your child's pose. If your wrists were really starting to talk to you, you might take palms together and bring the hands towards the back of your neck like a little shark fin. One more breath in here. Exhale, release your hands forward. Inhale, lift your head. And exhale, shift yourself forward into all fours again, hands and knees. From here, walk your hands a little bit ahead in front of where you had them before. Spread the fingers nice and wide. Tuck all 10 toes. Send your hips up and back into your first downward dog here. Pedal out the feet. Alternate the bends of the knees. Lift up through the hips. Send the hips towards the back of your mat. Keep breathing. And then come to some stillness. Feel the rib cage pressing towards your thighs. Spread the shoulder blades apart. Let your head be heavy. Enjoy that traction through your neck. We'll move through a short, stretchy flow. Inhale, reach the left leg into the sky. Three-legged dog, bend the knee, open the hip. Squeeze your heel towards your glute. Exhale, look forward with as much control as you can. Step your left foot to the outside of your left hand and drop your right knee down. Let the hips be heavy. Pull your heart through, lift your head. Option to stay on the hands. Maybe you drop your elbows down to your mat, or if you want to, you could take blocks underneath your forearms or a block underneath your forearms. Really good stretch for the hip flexors and for that inner left thigh. You could keep your right forearm on that block, or you can bring your hand to the mat if it's not there already. Take your left hand to the inside of your left knee, flex back through your left toes, and roll onto the outside of your left foot. Keep dropping your hips down, almost pressing them towards the direction of your left foot, and then roll your left shoulder back. Maybe look back behind you. And so this is just like a twisted lizard variation. Take another breath in here. Exhale, come back through center, roll onto the sole of the left foot, and then you're going to heel toe your left foot in line with your left hip. I'm going to bring the blocks underneath my hands from here into a more traditional low lunge. Use an inhale, lengthen through your heart. Exhale, shift your hips back, flex back through your left toes. Maybe walk your blocks underneath you for support, half splits. Really good for the hamstrings. Imagine you're dragging your heel towards you, pull your heart through. One more breath in. And then exhale, roll through that front foot. You can walk your blocks forward too. From here, turn on your right knee to point the toes over towards your left, and then you're going to keep your left hand down, or you could hop your left elbow onto the top of the left thigh, and inhale, roll this right shoulder back. You're facing the right side of your mat, and inhale, reach that right arm up and over for a little side body stretch. It's kind of like a knee down extended side angle. And then we'll reverse this inhale, come up through something like a knee down warrior two. Turn the left toes towards the right, kick out through the left heel. Right hand comes down to the back of the mat. Left arm reaches up overhead. Side body stretch on the left side. One more breath in here. Exhale, imagine someone's pulling on your left wrist and helping you come all the way up, using a little bit of those oblique muscles to get yourself here. From here, tuck the right toes under, turn the left toes to point up, and then send your hips back towards that right heel. Maybe they can rest onto that right heel, and then reach your arms towards the front right corner of the mat for a little variation of a half split. It's a little different way of working into the hamstrings here. A few breaths like this. Inhale, lift your head. Exhale, shift your hips forward, walk yourself around to face the back of your mat, tuck the left toes. So you're kind of in this like one-legged table position with the left toes tucked under, and then you're going to step the right foot back, lift the hips up and back into your downward facing dog. Ta-da! Take a moment just to be here. Breathing space into your body. One more breath cycle. Inhale, reach your right leg up, bend the knee, open the hip, three-legged dog, squeeze your heel towards your glute. Exhale, step that right foot towards the outside of your right hand, drop the left knee down into your lizard pose, pull the heart through, lift your head. And exhale, maybe you stay here on the hands, letting the hips be heavy, or you could grab a block, bring it underneath your forearms, or even underneath your head, depending on how far down you go. And again, just like we did on the first side, you can come up onto the left palm, or you can take your left forearm to a block, bring your right hand to the inside of your right knee, flex back through the right toes, roll onto the outside edge of the right foot. So it's like you're pressing your right knee away from you, lean your right shoulder back, and send your hips towards that right foot. Maybe you look back behind you, just a couple of breaths in this one. Exhale, roll onto the sole of the right foot. You can come up onto your hands here. You're going to heel toe that right foot more in line with the hip, and then we're going to shift the hips back into our half split. So again here, a good spot to use the blocks if you have them. You can always just have fingertips to your mat. Try to take as much of the rounding out of your spine as you can. One more breath in like this. Exhale, roll through the front foot, walk your blocks there with you, and then spin on that left knee, point the toes over towards the right, and then you can either keep your right hand down on the ground onto the block, or maybe hop your right elbow on top of your right thigh. Lunge into the right knee, reach the left arm up overhead alongside that left ear. Breathe into this side body stretch. And we'll reverse this. Inhale, come up through something like a knee down warrior 2, and then turn the right toes towards the left side of your mat, towards the long edge of the mat. Kick out through that right heel, left hand down towards the top of the mat, right arm alongside the right ear, side body stretch on the right side. One more breath in. Exhale, imagine someone's pulling on your right wrist, helping you come all the way back up. A little bit of oblique action there. And then you can tuck the left toes under, turn the right toes to point up towards the ceiling, and then send your hips back onto that left heel if they can, sending the hips back at the very least, and then walking your hands towards the back left corner of your mat. Let your head be heavy. And just a couple more here. Alrighty, lift your head, lift yourself off of that heel, walk your hands around to the front of the mat, place the left knee down, right toes are tucked under, right leg is extended, and then we'll press through the hands, lift the hips, step that left foot back into your downward dog again, and you can alternate the bends of your knees, shift your hips side to side. Coming to stillness, and then walk your feet to the center of your mat. Walk your hands towards your feet so we're meeting in the center of the mat. Feet go to the edges of the mat. Toes spill off a little bit. Heels are pointing in. And then drop your hips down into Malasana, your yogi squat. Your elbows can come towards the insides of your thighs. And then press in a little bit to your elbows with your knees and your thighs as your elbows press back. Hands are in Anjali Mudra, prayer position. Reach up through the crown of your head. Roll the shoulders back and down. One more good breath here. And then exhale with control. Maybe you bring your hands back behind you for support. Set your hips down. Extend your legs out in front of you. From here, we'll just take a nice passive forward fold so you can let your legs be about hip width distance apart. Inhale, reach the arms up to gain a little bit of length. Exhale, and let the upper body just drape over your legs. You can always bend your knees more to allow for more support and less pulling in the backs of the knees, especially if the hamstrings are really tight today. And just start to let go of any tension through the neck. You can really start to feel the muscles along the spine stretching here, especially if you're letting the head be really heavy. Last couple of breaths here. Inhale, walk your hands in, maybe even walk your hands onto your body and press down. Help yourself roll all the way back up. And then from here, we're going to make our way back down onto the spine, right where we started. Letting your head and your shoulders relax down, luxuriating and having some back support. And then we'll do one quick bridge pose just to open up the front lines of the body, to get into the glutes a little bit. Bring your arms down beside you, palms face down. Feet are hip-width distance apart. Inhale, press into your feet, lift your hips up any amount. It doesn't need to be a super big bridge today. And exhale, stay here. One more breath in, lift your chest towards your chin, feel that heart opener. And then exhale, slowly roll down your spine, massaging your back along the way. From here, pull both of your knees into a big hug, maybe rock a little bit side to side, massaging the area of the kidneys. Reach your left arm out beside you. We'll take one more twist. Again, if twists are just not comfortable for your body right now, you can leave this out. Just do anything that would feel good. But you can let the legs drop to the right whenever you're ready for this tucked variation of a twist, maybe getting more towards the mid-back now. One more breath on this side. Exhale. Bring the knees in through center. Take one breath in between. Exhale, right arm out beside you. Let both of your legs drop over towards the left. I'm just moving my blocks. Take a few breaths on this side. Feel the stretch in the back. Next inhale, come back through center. And then set your feet down. Of course, if there's any other way of moving that would feel good to you, you could do that for yourself now. But otherwise, we're going to set up in Shavasana just for a few moments of rest. And so this is not time to be thinking about anything, although the mind might wander in and out of thoughts. Just anytime you notice that, just try to come back to your breath. And let your body receive the nutrients of this practice. You'll hear my voice when it's time to come back into this space. Enjoy your Shavasana. Remaining just as you are, start to bring your awareness back to your breath. Feel the support beneath you. Sense the space around you. Notice the way your breath moves in your body, and allow for that movement to inspire you to wiggle your fingers and your toes, wrists and ankles, just starting with some small movements and then eventually letting them expand into larger ones. It could be a big full body stretch, anything that feels good. And when you're ready, pull your feet in, pull your knees into a hug, rock a little bit side to side again. Allow for this rocking motion to land you onto one side. Just using your bottom arm like a pillow for a breath or so. And then use your next inhale to come up with ease, as little effort as possible, making your way back into a comfortable seat. No rush, no hurry. When you arrive, letting your eyes be soft or closed. Relaxing the shoulders, relaxing your jaw, and just noticing how you feel. And finally, connect to a sense of gratitude for this practice, for this time that you had on your mat, and for yourself for choosing to show up and do something kind and caring for yourself during this usually uncomfortable time. And with this gratitude in our hearts, palms together in front of the heart space, Anjali Mudra, closing with one chant of Om wherever you are with your breath. Empty out the lungs. Take a breath in at the bottom. Exhale to chant Om. Thank you all so much for being here today and for sharing your practice with me. I hope this practice has served you well. Please let me know how it went for you in the comments down below. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. I put out new classes every single Sunday. Until then, thank you. Namaste.